Good afternoon. This is Deanna with Food Bank Beautiful. It is Monday, March 11th already. I don't know where March has gone. Those of you who watch me regularly, you know that I am a food bank user, and this channel is dedicated to people who use the food bank, encouraging them to go when they need to go, to help work on the stigma or the shame that in the past has been associated with food bank, but we don't deal with that. No, we do not. No shame, okay? So I am going to do some things today. I'm really actually quite busy, but I've reached the part of my day where I need to get some things done in the kitchen. So those of you who've watched me for a while, you know that my husband has been in New Mexico, but he's returning home very, very late tonight. And his really good friend is picking him up from Seattle and bringing him home to Granite Falls. And that's about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hour each direction based on traffic. Seattle's no picnic, people. So I want to have some goodies. This has been our friend. He's been my husband's friend for probably 30 years. He's been my friend for as long as Addie and I have been together, so close to 20 now. And he loves my baking. So I am going to bake him a goodie bag. But I am very, very short of time because I had so many things I needed to do. So the first thing I did was I looked in my freezer and I found a loaf of blueberry lemon bread. So that's been all wrapped and nice and frozen. So this I'm going to give to him. And he's used to getting things like this from me, frozen and ready to go. Yeah, and when he comes over to visit, if there's not stuff for him, he's a little sad, bless his heart. So this is one thing that I don't have to bake today that I baked for my future self, right? So here it is. Then the other thing is that I have some biscotti. Now you and I made these together, and I'm a little bit sad to go through the biscotti, but I can make my biscotti for my husband, later this week, right? We can make a whole bunch. We'll probably do it together because I want to make some varieties. I just want to make more biscotti. So I have 2 containers. I have the kind that my husband doesn't like because it has a frosting coat. Sometimes I use white chocolate or milk chocolate, but on this particular day I had a half a can of white frosting and I said, woohoo, let's use it up. And I have a container of the plain. Now, my husband does love the plain. So the plain, I'm going to put the lid back on and I am going to put those away. So my husband, actually I'm going to leave him out because he'll be home tonight. He'll be able to, it'll take him, 4 or 5 days to go through these and we'll be at 0. So I'm going to pull those out for him. And I will wrap these up for Ghana. That gives us 2 nice things, but 2 is not what I had in my mind. So some of you were with me when we made our brownie mix right here. Ta-da! So I am going to make, I only pulled out 1 jar, but I think I'm going to make 2 brownie mixes because if you're going to make 1, maybe let's make 2. Then I can send Ghana with a whole pan, okay? And then I can have a pan here for my husband. He will want to eat some, and so will Grandma and I. So we're going to do that. That gives us 3 nice things. That gives us blueberry lemon bread, it gives us brownies, and it gives us some really nice biscotti to drink in your beautiful Arabic tea or your coffee, whatever you're drinking, right? Okay, now the next thing I want to do, it could be fabulous or it could be a fiasco. We don't know yet. Fabulous or fiasco. See these empty jars? You and I are going to make 3 spice cake mix in a jar. They're just like the vanilla ones, only you throw in some little extra spices. And I believe I have everything, and if I don't, I'll wing it. It's not the end of the world. And then I'm going to bake two. I'm going to do two. I'm for sure going to do two, and I might do three, and I'll tell you why. My husband will love spice cake without frosting. That's one. Ghanem will love spice cake with frosting. That's two. And I want to make a spice cake. Yes, I do. But I want to use some of the apple butter that I canned a day or two ago. And also, if I had the energy, I would love to make some apple butter oatmeal bars. God, I really want to do that. Let me mentally share with you what I think I still have to do. My living room is really clean. Our bedroom area is really clean. I got Addie's bed all ready to go. I've got clean sheets in the wash or in the dryer, so his bed will be nice and fresh. I got my back porch cleaned off. That took me 2, maybe 3 hours. It was a nightmare. Betty Jan and Sissy, I went and got them out of the coop this morning, but they are not allowed in the house, and they are adjusting to that. Right now, they're in the greenhouse, and they're dirt bathing and doing all kinds of fun things. And tonight, they're going to go back into the coop and sleep with the big chickens. So, Grandma is in her bedroom. She's doing perfectly fine. She's got a tub of little chickadees right there at her feet. I cleaned all of that out today. Got Grandma's room all nice and fresh. But while I'm doing this, she's enjoying the chicks right there at her feet. Now, probably when she calls me or I feel like it's time, I'll go back in and I'll take them. It's a Tupperware, a big Tupperware. But the one that's in the closet is like really big. And that's where their light is and their food and water. So I'll have to put them back at some point. So I don't know what we're going to get done because I still have to fold. I got a load in the dryer, a load in the washer, and one more load to put in. I've already taken care of one load. My living room, kitchen, and our bedroom area is tidy. The back porch is tidy. That was very important to me to get that back in a sort of pristine condition because my husband likes to go out there and smoke his cigars and do that kind of stuff, visit with his friends out there. So that's done. So really all I have to do is finish the laundry, put the sheets on my husband's bed. Now, I say my husband's bed. We are roughing it, people. Our furniture is not coming from New Mexico for about another 2 to 3 weeks. So I have a cot and my husband has an air mattress. It is not a commentary on our marriage or our love life. It is a commentary on the fact that we have no furniture in this house. All right, so when you hear me say 2 separate beds, that is a temporary thing. That's probably too much information, but a little bit funny anyway. All right, what was the other thing I had to do? Oh, over here I have the dishwasher going, and I have 2 sinks full of dishes. Mostly it's grody Tupperware that I pulled out of my coop and the scraps and everything that I take out there to the chickens all the time. So I like to hand wash those in scalding hot water, and then I like to run them through the dishwasher. So I'll need to do that too. Okay, is that too much? Is that too much information? Kept you here for 9 minutes. Maybe we'll shorten it up. Maybe not. You guys know how to fast forward through stuff. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our brownies in the oven because I can be washing my dishes or mixing up my next thing while my brownies are in my oven. Also, I was thinking I wanted to make peanut butter cookies too, but really, I don't know. Okay, so you will remember that this recipe came from sugarspunrun.com. If you decide to make these, I would love for you to go to that website and use the recipe as it's written there, or if you're like me, modify it the way you want. Okay? All right, here is our first jar, and that's going to go right into my mixing bowl. And remember, we made 5 or 6 of these, and I think that after I make these, I'll only have 2 more jars on my pantry shelves, which is okay. That's fine. I don't make brownies that often, but I needed to get some lovely things made for Ghanem. So I'm going to try to clean as I go because I have been cleaning my house for days. There we go. All right, now to this is a double batch, so I'll be doing twice the amounts. Okay, so it's going to call for 2 eggs, 4 eggs if you're using 2 mixes, which is what I'm doing. So let's get the eggs in there. The eggs are Food Bank, the butter is mine, and the vanilla is mine. And you can go back and watch that. If you go to my playlist, you'll see it, Let's Make Brownies Together or something like that. You can watch that, and all of the information is there about what was mine and what was Food Bank and how well the brownies came out. They were spectacular, in my humblest of opinions. So we will see. Oh, and I'm going to add chocolate chips to these, so that is going to be mine as well. I do have some walnuts, but honestly, I am pressed for time today, so I don't feel that I want to take the time to chop the almonds. I mean, not the almonds, the walnuts. Does my butter want to melt? Yep, it's good enough. Okay, and I'm adding 2 cubes of melted butter. Each jar calls for 8 tablespoons. That's 1 cube. So I'm using 2 cubes, 4 eggs. Let's bring you down here. Brownie mix looks better than I do today, but I need to stabilize my phone. Okay, there we go. All right, so we're going to add the butter. Going to put this dish in the sink. Going to put my, oh, I'm not going to put my eggs away because I'll be doing the next thing next. We're going to add a little bit of vanilla. I think my measuring spoons are in the dishwasher, so I'm just going to, what was it, 2 teaspoons? 1 teaspoon. You know I'm going to add more. Okay, there we go. That should be just perfect. Let's mix it up. Look how easy that is, you guys. Even if you find yourself in a pinch, you can get something made if you need to. Okay. Did you see me almost stick my finger in that? Did you see how well behaved I am when you guys are watching me? I just want some serious credit for that. Okay, so the brownie mix looks really good. We're going to go ahead and we're going to add a cup of chocolate chips. Now, I believe that, do I have any clean measuring cups? Ah. All right, I've got a half cup. So we're going to add 2 half cups. It's just as easy as that. 1 and 2. God, those smell so good. Yum. Yummy. Let's get it done. Let's thank somebody for doing such a lovely thing. There's just no way that I could drive to Seattle. First of all, I'm not a very good driver. Second of all, Seattle is very challenging for me. And I don't drive at night anymore. My eyes just are, you know, that's... Okay, gonna need a shower tonight. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so, you know, and plus I have grandma. There's no way I can go to the airport and pick my husband up at 10:30 p.m. at night. So I just want to make sure that he knows that I'm super thankful for his assistance. Now, I am going to get, my parchment is out there. I'm going to trim it down and get my brownie mix in there. I will bring you back and show you those right before they go into the oven. Otherwise, it's loud. All of that crinkly, what is it called? Parchment paper. So I'll be back in just a minute, okay? Okay, just like that, I am ready to pop these into the oven. Takes me longer because I'm doing it for you guys, but when you guys do it at home, you can get your brownies from your jar to the pan in 5 or 6 minutes, and then 30 to 35 minutes baking. So let's go ahead and take a look down here. And you can see that they're just lovely. I made a little bit of mess on the first one, but nobody's going to be able to tell. So let's go ahead and get those in the oven. And let me check the time. Let's see. It's 4:10. So let me set my Google alarm. Google. Set alarm, 30 minutes. How much time is left on my timer? See, I've been having problems with it lately. Google, set timer, 30 minutes. Okay, Google doesn't want to set the timer for me this afternoon, and I don't have the patience. At 4:40, I will check on my brownies. Okay, what we're going to do next is I think we're going to go ahead and do the jars for the spice cake, because I'm going to want to put that into the oven next. Okay, because it would not be a show from me without little snafus, here's our snafu. The camera did not record any of my jar filling. So, I have filled each of these jars with everything that they need except a 1/4 cup of sugar. So I'm going to do that now, and then we'll go over what I put in the jars. Okay? So I'm going to bring you down. I'm so sorry about this, people. This particular tripod does not like to hold for me where I want it. All right, we'll do it right there. Okay, so I'm going to tamp these down. And I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of sugar to each jar. Okay, let me get a lid on. Okay, so in each jar, let me bring you back up here because I don't love the way that is doing its thing. In each jar, you will have 1½ cups of flour, 3/4 cup of white sugar. Now in this jar, I put 1/2 of the sugar in first, 1/2 cup first, and then I wanted a little brown ribbon at the top and white on the top. So that was the second part of the sugar, and that was a 1/4 cup. So 1.5 cups of flour, 3/4 cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 2½ teaspoons of salt. The recipe calls for 2.5 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1 teaspoon of ginger, 1.5 teaspoon of allspice, and 1/4 teaspoon of cloves. I don't have the patience for that today. So what I did was I did 2.5 teaspoons of cinnamon in each jar, and then I added 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice and called it good. All right, so now we have 3 little jars of spice cake. We're going to make 2. I don't know if I have it in me to play with the one I want to make with my apple butter. I think we'll come back and do that on a separate day. But then that'll give 1 for my husband and 1 for Ghanem. So let's go ahead and mix them up. Why not? We're doing 2 of everything today. Now the liquids in this cake are going to be 1/2 cup of butter softened. It's really important that I soften and not melt, because when we made this cake before, I melted the butter and then I didn't like the texture. So we're going to soften. We're going to add 1/2 cup of milk, 2 large eggs, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. When my brownies come out, we're going to bake at 350 for about 30 minutes. So let me get my counter clean and I'll bring you back for the mixing up, and we'll get these spice cakes ready to go in the oven. Because that's the kind of girls we are. And for the part of my audience, that 5.4% of you that is male, welcome. You are now one of the girls for this show. No, we know you're men. Men, you are welcome here. All right, everybody's welcome here. All right, I'll be back in a minute. It smells really good. Okay, let's put these in the sink. Let me check the time. We're looking at 4:40, I think. Let me see where we're at for the brownies. Oh, it is 4:40. Let me take a peek. Oh, they smell so good. I'm going to give those 5 more minutes. All right. So we're going to put in 4 eggs. Oh, you know what? I want to do something different. Let me come back to you. Okay, I emptied out this bowl, and I'm going to put my butter and my eggs and my vanilla in here, and I'm going to mix it up all nice and creamy by itself. And then I will add the dry ingredients. And we'll see if that makes a difference in our texture. Normally when you make a cake mix from scratch, you do your butter and your sugar all nice and creamy in a bowl, but with a cake mix like this, you're not able to do that. So let me get this off my counter. And where is my mixer? Oh, here it is. Okay. All right, you're going to hear some noise. All right, we're back. I have the butter and the eggs put where I want them. I'm going to add a tablespoon and a teaspoon of vanilla. A little bit more probably. We'll call that good. Let's mix that up. brownies are out of the oven and safely on the counter. And now we're going to mix in our dry ingredients for the spice cake. And we're going to do it all at once. Okay, here we go. You know what? I didn't get my half cup of milk in here. Let's fix that, you guys. Let's fix that. Where's my measuring cup? Okay, you can see that I have the spice cake in the 2 little pans. I've trimmed the edges. Everything looks nice. These are going to go in the oven for 30 minutes, and while that's in the oven, I'm going to fold at least 1 load of cloves. I'm going to go out and find Sissy and Betty Jan, and I think instead of putting them in the big coop, I'm going to stick them in that little itty bitty coop that I got that is on my back porch and have them sleep there until they're a little bit bigger. I don't know how that's going to work. I'm still trying to find a way to get Sissy and Betty Jan acclimated to the outside. I may have done them a huge disservice by making them such lovely house chickens. If it were just me, if I was just all by myself with just grandma and me, you know, they could stay house chickens. But my husband does not want house chickens, and really chickens don't belong in the house. So that freak show is coming to an end. Okay, so let me get these in the oven. I'll keep an eye on the timer, and I'll show you the cakes when I pull them out. All right, this is Deanna again. Of course, who else would it be in my kitchen wearing my clothes, talking to you guys. So the spice cakes are in the oven. They have about 10 or maybe 15 minutes to go. I just checked on them. My dishes are done. I went out and checked on Sissy and Betty Jan, and they are in the greenhouse, and they have no intention of coming in. Even though I made their little mini coop all nice and comfy for them, no, they do not want to come in. They do not miss me, people. I miss them. They do not miss me. Now, the counter that I'm leaning on is, most everything is put away, but it just needs to be wiped down. I'm going to make some beef stew for Grandma and I. This is a beef stew that I canned, I don't know, a while back. It's really, really good. And I'm pretty tired, but Grandma needs to eat some real food. Now, she had a gorgeous breakfast. She had scrambled eggs with cheese. She had orange slices. She had a hash brown patty, and she had some olive rosemary toast, juice, and coffee. She had a little snack this afternoon, a little bag of Doritos, and then I just gave her a granola bar about a half hour ago to tide her over until I could get some dinner made. So this is what's for dinner, people. This is why I can. This is why I can using food bank groceries from time to time. It's because I know my future self is going to eat them. In this particular jar, the beef was mine. The carrots and potatoes were food bank, but it still makes a nice quart of beautiful stew. It tastes exactly like Dinty Moore. I love it. Grandma loves it. We're going to call it good. So I'm going to wait until my cakes are safely out of the oven before I pursue another adventure. I pulled out a great big, massive load of laundry. I do believe every single towel I own that is in this house has gone through the washer and the dryer. That load is huge. These are towels that were used to cover my carpets and some of Grandma's carpet and our chairs and a few other things. So all of those things have been picked up and washed. My last load is in the wash machine. I think I have a load in the dryer that has about 15 or 20 minutes in it. So at this moment, what do I have left to do? I need to clean my bathroom. And at first I envisioned in my mind, you know, to get down on your hands and knees and scrub and spotless and gorgeous and, you know, so tidy you could eat off the floor. You can go to the bathroom, in my bathroom, and you'll be just fine, but nobody's eating off the floor in there. Not today. No. No pumpkins. Not going to happen. I just need it to be visually presentable. I need to like take out the garbage and sweep the floor and take my little and do the toity in the sink and call it good. I'm not doing anything more than that, okay? If it needs greater attention than that in the next few days, I'll get to it. I still need to make Addie's bed, and I need to sweep and hand wipe down my kitchen floor. And maybe just make sure that my carpets look really good. They look really good, you guys. You would be so proud of me. I really did protect my carpets, but I always want to make sure that, you know, I'm not ruining things because I have chickens in my house. So that's where we're at. So let me check the cake. I'll come back when the cakes are out, then I'll make Grandma some dinner. All right, we made it back. It is about 7:30. And I have the 2 pans of brownies are nice and cool. Here is the first one. That one I'm just going to lift out of the parchment paper. I'm going to cut it into squares and put it back, wrap it in saran wrap, and this one will go to Ghanem. I have the second one right here. This one can just stay like it is. This one's for my husband, so I'm going to set it right over here because he's stinking spoiled and he knows it. Now, the next thing we have is we have the 2 spice cakes. Here's the first one. And here is the second one. One for my husband, one for Ghanem. But I'm going to make a lemon glaze to put on top of that spice cake. I think it'll be delicious. It's not anything that I have a recipe for. It is butter, powdered sugar, and some lemonade or lemon concentrate. So I'll bring you down here. And let's go ahead and get this done. And then I'll be done in the kitchen. Let's see if that'll... Oh, it just wants to fight me every step of the way. Every step of the way. Can you see? I guess you can see there. Can you see? Maybe right there? Okay, I just can't fight it anymore. I don't have the energy. Alrighty. So, all I do is I take some powdered sugar and I toss it into a bowl. I probably want about that much. Then I'm going to take some room temperature butter, which I happen to have right here. And I'm going to put about this much in there. And then I'm going to put some lemon. What is this called? Real lemon. About that much, and then we'll see what we can do. We'll see if we need to add anything to that. I would love to mix this up in a smaller bowl. I just don't have one. Now I can see right now that I'm going to add some additional powdered sugar. So let me get that in there. And then I will mix this until it's nice and smooth, and then I'll bring you back and we'll frost our 2 cakes. Okay, I have got the glaze made, but I am not going to fight with this stinking tripod. So I'm just going to glaze it from here. You should be able to see it okay, and if not, you get the basic idea. So this is just a little bit of lemon glaze, and I think on top of a spice cake, it will be delicious. So I'm going to put half the glaze on here, not very much, doesn't take very much. And it'll just kind of harden up on top of the cake and be just really refreshing. I'm not looking for a heavy frosting, just a little bit of a glaze. It's like when you go to the store and you buy a loaf of whatever little cakes they have at the Walmart bakery. They usually have a little glaze on the top. Usually it's a vanilla glaze, but on this one we're using lemon. And that's all I want. I just want a tiny, tiny bit. Can you see that? Okay, now I'm going to pull this one over and I'm going to do the same thing here. Get it all over there first, and then I'm going to use all the glaze. I'm not going to toss any out, but let's just get that on there. Now I see a few lumps in this glaze, but I never claim to be anywhere near Betty Crocker or anybody else. A few little lumps in my frosting is not going to kill me. I don't have a lot of energy tonight. I still have a number of chores to do, but I want to get this done. Okay, I can live with that. I can live with that. So can my husband. So can Ghanem. Okay, that looks pretty. And I've got a little extra glaze, so let's go ahead and bring this one forward and get the rest of the glaze on this cake. And that's it. That is perfect. Okay. Whew. That was crazy. Let me stick this in the sink. Okay, now I am too tired to come back and give you a taste test. That's just the way it is today. I'm pooped. All right? If this were my day and my husband wasn't coming home today, I would go to bed. I would put Grandma to bed and I would go to bed right now. I am, however, going to cut a small square of the spice cake and taste it for you, okay? Because I'm here for you, right? I got your backs, people. I am going to taste test this cake for you. Even though the glaze hasn't set yet, we'll still have a really good idea. So hang on one second. Okay, here it is. I just took a little tiny corner out and we're just going to taste the cake. I can already tell right now that the texture is much, much better. Here we go. Yeah, that texture is really good. It's moist. It's spicy. Not overly spicy, but just pleasantly spicy. The texture, like I said, is good. Now I just want to take a bite where my glaze is. Okay. Wow. It's perfect. With that lemon glaze, it is gorgeous. So, when you make the cakes in a jar, whether you already made the vanilla white one that we made maybe a week ago, or if you're going to try to make this spice cake one, it is very important to use softened butter, not melted. It is the difference between a nice fluffy piece of cake and a cake that is really dense and just not that pleasant to eat. So I am very satisfied with this cake. My husband will love it. He'll like to eat it with his coffee in the morning for breakfast. Ghanem will like his. We've already taste tested the brownies before, so I'm not going to do that right now. But people, we are done. I have folded 2 more loads of laundry. I have a half a load on my bed and 1 more load in the dryer. And then I had to re-wash some rugs. So those are back in the wash machine. I need to sweep and mop this floor here, and I need to clean my bathroom. And then I need to take the broom and go over my carpet one more time. I have a few dishes in the kitchen sink. I need to run the dishwasher. I still have a lot of work to do. Oh my God. I'm exhausted. All right. I will see you guys. You guys are great as always. And remember, if you find yourself in a position where you think you need to use the food bank, then you go. You call around in your community. You see when they are. You see the time that they are. You make your appointment if you need to make an appointment. You find out if you need any kind of paperwork or if it's just a little bit of demographic information, and that's all. That's all they need. And I believe they need that for the federal grants that they receive. I could be wrong, but that's what I think. So if you are thinking about going to the food bank and you have never gone before, and you go as a result of watching some of my videos or some of anybody else's videos who do food bank hauls, I want to congratulate you. Really good job. For some people, it is not easy, and it takes just about everything they've got to be willing to go. So if that's you, then I seriously, from the bottom of my heart, applaud you. If you have gone to the food bank for the very first time, I would love for you to tell me in the comments. And if you are somebody who's brand new to going to the food bank, maybe you've gone your second, your third, or your fourth time, I want you to let me know in the comments. I really do try to keep on track of those. I am somewhat behind, and I am a couple of emails behind. I have read them, but I have just not been able to respond to them, and it'll probably be another day or two. But I love to hear about you guys, and as I get to know you a little bit better, I just am able to put your story with a name and then remember the name long enough to know when I read the next comment, I watch your progress. And I am always so proud of you when you are able to do those things. I'm also super proud of you that don't go to the food bank, but still practice a lot of things that we talk about here. Making it last, making it work, canning and preserving. I don't have every ingredient, but I can modify. Or you've taken some combination of ingredients and you've made something delicious off the top of your head. I love to hear from you guys too. And you guys keep giving me those great tips, okay? I enjoy those so much. All right, I'm saying good night. You guys have a great evening, and I'll try to be back in a day or two. All right, bye-bye.